From getting millions for a single endorsement to being completely excluded from society, athletes have lost millions, possibly billions, from losing endorsements. Whether you're a football star or an Olympic medal holder, if you mess up, you're bound to lose something. Just look at Ben Johnson. Apparently, he was too slow for Diadora. Ben Johnson is a Canadian athlete. He was a big deal in the world of sports after he won gold and set a world record for the 100-meter race at the 1988 Olympics. He was celebrated as a hero and became a recognizable figure in athletics. However, his success was short-lived. In just 3 days, it all came crashing down. The Olympic Doping Control Center found stanozolol, a banned substance, an anabolic steroid, in his blood and urine samples. As a result, he lost his gold medal, world record, and $2.8 million sponsorship deal with Diadora. On the topic of football stars and how they've lost millions, let's talk about MVPs who've come crashing down. Adrian Peterson is a legendary NFL player who has been selected for the Pro Bowl 7 times and was named the league's MVP in 2012. He even made history as the 6th fastest player ever to reach 8,000 running yards. He even finished as a runner-up for the Heisman Trophy as a freshman, making him the first ever to do so. However, when he was indicted for child abuse, it took a few days for his sponsors to drop him, despite his enormous reputation. Even though the Vikings reinstated him, Radisson Hotels ended its relationship with the team. Castrol, Nike, and Milan soon followed, but Peterson continues to play for the Vikings at the age of 31. It must have been really bad if Nike pulled out. They didn't leave Wayne Rooney, but Tiger Beer did. Rooney is one of the most famous footballers of all time. He had an incredible year in 2010 when he scored an impressive 34 goals in 44 games for Manchester United, and it didn't go without recognition. He received a number of awards for his outstanding performance, including the club's Player of the Year award. He was also the Premier League's Players Player of the Year, Fans Player of the Year, and the FWA Player of the Year, but none of that mattered. Things took a negative turn when he was accused of being unfaithful and his reputation took a hit. Coca-Cola and Tiger Beer both dropped him as a sponsor, stating their disgust, but Nike stood by him despite the controversy. With that said, getting dropped for cheating is still debatable, but there was no debate when Oscar Pistorius shot his girlfriend. You heard me right. Oscar Pistorius was a real-life superhero with a remarkable story, stunning looks, and an impressive track record. Literally, he made history as the first athlete to participate in both the Olympic and Paralympic Games. Not to mention, he was bagging 6 gold medals between 2004 and 2012. Unfortunately, his life took a drastic turn when he shot and killed his girlfriend, Riva Steenkamp, on Valentine's Day in 2013. Pistorius claimed it was a tragic accident, mistaking her for an intruder. As a result, he lost major endorsement deals, including those with Nike and Oakley, worth a whopping $2 million annually. But $2 million is nothing compared to what Maria Sharapova lost. Did you know that Maria Sharapova is considered the richest female athlete in the world, with a net worth estimated to be between $125 and $175 million? It's no wonder why. She became incredibly marketable at a young age after winning Wimbledon at just 17 years old. Not only is she an amazing tennis player, but she's also gorgeous and has a global appeal due to her Russian-American background. However, her income could take a major hit after failing a drug test in 2016. She lost major endorsements from Nike and Ted Hoare, but Head has stuck by her. Unlike Maria, Kobe got away with most things, but even the Black Mamba's been threatened. Kobe Bryant, with a net worth of $320 million, faced a scandal in 2003. He was accused of sexually assaulting a 19-year-old hotel employee. He denied that it was non-consensual, admitting only to sleeping with her. They settled the case out of court, with Bryant acknowledging that he understood how the girl felt about not consenting. As a result of the incident, he lost some endorsements endorsement deals with McDonald's and Nutella, but still maintained ties with Sprite and Nike. Despite the scandal, Bryant's wealth didn't seem to take a major hit. Trust me, he got lucky. Not everyone gets off that easy. Look at Manny Pacquiao. In 2015, he was the second highest paid athlete in the world, raking in a massive fortune estimated at $190 million. However, his fortunes took a hit in 2016 after losing a much hyped match against Floyd Mayweather. On top of that, he made derogatory comments about homosexuals, saying they were worse than animals. This caused a major fallout with Nike, who ended their sponsorship deal with Pacquiao, citing his remarks as abhorrent. It eventually ended up with Pacquiao on the lookout for a new sports brand to replace Nike as his sponsor. This just shows that it doesn't matter how good you are, if you mess up, you're done. And Mike Tyson messed up big time. He is the record holder for being the youngest heavyweight world champion ever and was once a feared fighter with his feared punches. However, his career took a turn for the worse due to self-destructive behavior. Everyone knows that Tyson was never far from controversy, but in 1988, his ex-wife accused him of domestic abuse, leading to him losing lucrative deals worth $10 million a year. And Tyson's troubles didn't end there. He was later convicted of raping an 18-year-old girl in 1992 and then for biting off a part of Evander Holyfield's ear in 1997. It's just disappointing to see your idols fall, like the time when Lance Armstrong got caught doping. It's sad because he was diagnosed with testicular cancer in 1996, but miraculously recovered and was back to cycling 2 years later. He even went on to achieve an amazing 7 consecutive Tour de France titles. He also founded the Lance Armstrong Foundation, which raised hundreds of millions of dollars to help those affected by cancer. Armstrong was an inspiration to many, making his subsequent doping scandal all the more disappointing and personal to fans. Despite accusations of doping dating back to 1999, it wasn't until 2012 that the USADA declared he had used performance-enhancing drugs. In 2013, Armstrong admitted to doping and lost all of his post-1998 success and endorsement deals. He lost a lot of money, and even brands like Nike, Anheuser-Busch InBev, Trek Bicycle Corp, FRS, and Honey Stinger. But then there are some that don't really care about the money because they have so much. Ring a bell? I'm talking about Tiger Woods. The legendary golfer with a fortune of $700 million doesn't seem to be in any financial trouble at the moment. However, he could have had even more wealth if not for a very public cheating scandal that rocked his world. Woods was so important to his sponsors that they didn't abandon him when his wife smashed his car window due to his infidelity. But when the extent of his cheating became clear, Woods lost huge endorsement deals with big names. Gillette, AT&T, and Gatorade were some of these names, and even his $20 million a year deal with Nike was cut in half for 2 years. This scandal also had a negative impact on his once dominant golf career, which was pretty predictable. And these were some of the most famous athletes who lost their endorsements.